Every year, there's a 2-week period where Logan O'Connor plays like one of the best players on the planet. It just so happens that those 2 weeks this year are during round 1 of the playoffs. Avs win over the Dallas Stars 4-0 in Game 4 to even the series. That was incredibly good hockey from the Colorado Avalanche. The worst player on the Avs game would probably still be qualified as at least good. And a handful of them were great, including Logan O'Connor, including the Avs second line, including Mackenzie Blackwood. The team you saw play in that game is a team that can win the Stanley Cup. Obviously, they're not going to play to that level every single night, but they're capable of it. At least some nights. On caliber of play, this game was simply never close. And really, even on the scoreboard, the only reason it was close for a little while was because of some power play opportunities early in the game for Dallas. In a lot of ways, this is the way you were expecting the Avs to respond in Game 3. Obviously, that fell flat, but it's great to see them eventually get there and show that they have it in them. And, funnily enough, this is the third game in this series in which Dallas has led for exactly 0 seconds. They did technically win one of those games they never let any seconds in, but still. The Avs have a lot of underlying stuff here in this series that you can feel confident about beyond just a great Game 4 here. Let's get into that Game 4, and the crucial part of getting out to a lead for the Avs was winning the special teams battle on both ends. By the end of the night, the Avs will have killed 4 penalties, but their penalty kill does more than that. It scores. Stars executing their entry on their power play here. They go to the wall, and it's a little bit discombobulated, which allows Lindgren to get in and get on this puck. This is not a good clear. I think he's probably trying to hit LOC, but LOC is too deep in chasing after Mikko, so it's a float up to no one, which allows the Stars to recollect. Now, this is a fascinating sequence, not necessarily because of the play, though it is good, but because of the players. This is Thomas Harley, the leading Dallas Stars point scorer in this series. This is Logan O'Connor, the leading Colorado Avalanche point scorer in this series. An interesting head-to-head. Harley, not unsurprising, right? That's a guy who, especially with Heiskanen out, one of their better producing defensemen, maybe not too crazy that he's the Stars' leading point getter in the series. LOC being the leading point getter in the series is nuts. That is not what it's supposed to be for the Avs, and yet here he is. Absolutely manhandling Thomas Harley, tries to get cute, and LOC says, I'm going to push you away from the puck, and then I'm going to go get the puck while you fall over. Oh, and then I'm going to beat your goalie. Logan O'Connor is a really good NHL player. He's a great third-line type, fourth-line type guy that will give you some production and will give you his 110% every single night. That's what makes him so lovable as an Av. That's why he's the mayor of Denver. He's not supposed to be the guy carrying your team in a playoff series, and yet here we are. Look, the Avs fan base loves him, and rightfully so, but this is crazy, right? In the 4 games in this series, Logan O'Connor has equaled his playoff production from the rest of his entire career. He's doing something very unusual here. I know there's a lot of ways to look at this series where you feel like the Avs may have missed some opportunities to be up 3-1 in it, but on the flip side, without Logan O'Connor, this series might be close to over going against the Avs. He's been that crucial so far through 4 games. So obviously that feels great. The Avs were playing well through the first at 5-on-5, but to not only kill 2 penalties and even score and take the lead on one, it built the momentum that we hadn't really seen for Colorado in games 2 and 3 in quite the same way. So when the Avs get their one and only power play of the game late in the first period, the special teams are feeling good, and they convert good. With the power play winding down, MacKinnon kind of just yeets a puck across ice to Jonathan Drouin, and while Drouin can't receive the initial pass, he's able to take it off the wall, control it, and the initial play is simple. He just gets it down in deep. Credit to Leckie for being there, being the support to keep this play alive and getting it back to Drouin, and then Drouin does something scary. He calmly controls this puck, lets the defense collapse in on him, and we've seen more than a few times in this series Drouin do this and turn the puck over. This time, he executes. As they close in on him, he turns away, protects the puck, and is able to slip it out the gap up high to Cale Makar. Editing Rudo here. That's Devon Taves, you idiot. That is quality skill play. That is why those guys are important. When they're executing well, they create stuff like this. Makar uses the space decently, maybe could have used it a little bit more, but leaves himself a lane for Nathan MacKinnon, and Nathan MacKinnon does not think. He doesn't control this. He doesn't double clutch it. He doesn't try and pick the perfect shot. He just shoots, and it goes in. Is that the best power play in the world from the Avs? No. Is that Nathan MacKinnon's best shot? No. Is that play going to score a lot of goals? No. But did it score this time? Yes. And I want to give the Avs best players a lot of credit. There was a good amount of simplification from them in this game. They also threw in some cute stuff at times, but it was mixed in with playing smart, making simple decision hockey. And when you get that mix, it is so much better both ways. Obviously, the simple stuff itself gives you a level of consistency, but when you're doing that, it opens up those lanes for the cute stuff to work a little bit better too. And when you watch Nathan MacKinnon fly around the ice and create, when you watch Cale Makar's legs deke people out of their pants to set up passes, those things all come into a cohesive unit that makes a lot more sense when you do the simple things first. And this was not MacKinnon or Makar's best game, but they were doing the things that it was a good or better game, like I said. So you have a 2-0 lead after the first period. You're in the driver's seat, but you watched game 2. You know that doesn't mean anything. Bednar said it himself. The only score that matters is the one at the end of the game. So the Avs come out in the second period and maybe play one of the best periods of hockey they've played in a long time. Now, hockey is a silly sport, so they only score once in the second period, but this was true dominance. Colorado outshot Dallas in the second period 22-5. No, I did not misspeak. Outshot. That is not Corsi. That is shots on net. They absolutely pummeled that Dallas team, and it wasn't just low Corsi percentage shots. They had 8 high danger chances in the period. Ottinger played out of his mind to keep the Avs to only 1 goal in the second. This period felt like the Avs morphing into an unstoppable juggernaut, and the guy to break them through the wall, the captain. A reload for the Avs here, and Brock Nelson breaks this out with his feet. The Avs are always at their best in their systems when their breakout comes from somebody's feet. He cleanly beats both of the forechecking stars, and the Avs are off to the races. He beats the third star up the wall, honestly pretty sloppy from the stars here, but 3 guys that Brock Nelson just sails past, and then the defense is sketch too. Pretty big gaps there. Landeskog entirely uncovered. I know it's a 3-on-2, so you have to respect both guys a little bit, but Landy just takes what's given to him. A nice slide across pass from Nelson. Landy settles it, half claps it with the space he's got, and just beats Ottinger. If you are not a Stars fan and you didn't love that, I don't want to be friends. Honestly, this has to be an all-time feel-good moment, right? To come back for the Colorado Avalanche for Gabe Landeskog at all is amazing. To come back and be as good as Gabe Landeskog has been for them through these first 2 games is incredible. Borderline unbelievable. That is like Disney sports story level stuff. So a dominant period probably deserved to be rewarded more, but the Avs are up 3-0 going into the third. And the Avs take care of business in the third period. They do take a penalty early, but they're able to kill it all square. Interestingly, Pete DeBoer pulls Jake Ottinger after that second period to start the third. I don't hate it, honestly. He said he wanted to rest him, and I get it. The Stars are going to need him for future games. I know it's very common in sports, and especially in hockey, to not do that. You want to play the game you're in and try and win it, and I do get that, but let's face it, if you watched that game, you saw how ridiculously dominant Colorado was. I think it was a reasonable decision for Dallas to say, hey, we're probably not winning this game. But ultimately, that did set Dallas up for failure in the third period. Colorado controlled play, and while Dallas did try to be a bit more dangerous and were at times, it wasn't enough to break through, and eventually the Avs iced the game. So as this play happens, honestly, just pay attention to Landeskog in this play. Girard's going to get the puck deep initially, and Landy, before even the play is developing, is battling in the dangerous areas. He's engaging, he's physically there, and as the play develops and it comes back up this near wall, Landy actually finds himself in the wrong position, and he just fights. He's initially losing the battle. The physicality is engaged, but as Girard starts to slide out and a shooting lane starts to open up, Landy just does not take no for an answer. He's going to force himself out in front to the correct position, win the battle, and completely take away Ottinger's eyes. Ottinger now has to lean around to try and find this Girard shot, and he simply cannot as it gets through him. Happy for Sam Girard to get that playoff goal, but I want to talk about Landeskog again there. To me, that might be the most impressive play of the night for Landy, because obviously he's still a good hockey player. I don't think that was all surprising, but we were curious to see how the physicality, how the strength would hold up. To be able to win positional battles, to be able to be strong on your legs and feet, net front, to be able to take that punishment, if Landy can do that, he's gonna be a guy for the Avs in these playoffs. Look, this in a lot of ways was an easy one. Not that the Avs didn't earn it, they absolutely did. They played their hearts out and got what they deserved. But you can bet Dallas is probably going to play better in Game 5. This is the war of a series you signed up for when everyone knew 3 weeks left in the season it was going to be Avs versus Stars. Some back and forth, some tight games, some quality wins, a little bit of everything going on. And I want to believe that the Avs found something here in this game, whether it's that clicking of the second line of Landy, Nelson, and Nichushkin. Nelson assisted on 2 goals in this game, by the way. Whether it's the power play simplifying and converting, whether it's the penalty kill coming up huge, or I really haven't even mentioned Mackenzie Blackwood's shutout in this game, by the way. Not all of the things are going to click full speed every single night, but I think the Avs remembered a little bit about themselves, that they're a pretty darn good hockey team here. In fact, a team that is fully capable of beating Dallas. Now, as I said after Game 2 and 3, the Avs do still need to go out and do that, but they know they can. That is the end of this game video review. Thank you for watching. I am Rudo, and I needed that win, personally.